Good chilly evening, Chicago. This is Political Forum for Wednesday, January 7th. We welcome today as our guest Alderman John Pope of the 10th Ward. Thank you for appearing today, Alderman Pope.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me tonight.
I'm Dartesia Pitts, a board member here at CAN TV. This is a live, interactive program brought to you as a community service by CAN TV. And you'll have an opportunity to give us a call in during the show to participate in the conversation. The number is as seen at the bottom, 312-738-1060. Well, before we really kick off the show, Alderman, they gave me something to give to you today. And we're delighted to kick off 2015 with you as our guest. You've been a great supporter of what our trusted friend, the late Alderman Bernie Stone, called the People's Network. Alderman Stone just passed away, for those of you who do not know. He was our champion, and so are you.
Oh, thank you.
During the Comcast negotiations over the past year, you took the lead in defending the public's channels, as you've done many times in the past. In appreciation for your vigilance on behalf of the public, we present you with this plaque. This nice plaque. It's great. Here you go.
Wow.
And the plaque says, John A. Pope, 10th Ward Alderman, for your leadership in protecting the public's right to speak and be heard, with gratitude from all of us at CAN TV.
Great. Well, thank you so much. This is a surprise and an honor. And you had mentioned Bernie Stone, former colleague of mine who passed away recently. And I know Bernie was 100% in support of this station, this effort to ensure that the public always had access to be able to express their views and opinions in a very public manner. So thank you very much, and thank you for all the work that CAN TV has done and continues to do.
All right. And thank you, Alderman. I'm going to give you your nice box so you can keep it in there. All right. So make sure you give us a call and join in the discussion. Alderman, we had an opportunity. This is my first time ever interviewing you, so This is my pleasure as well. And we had an opportunity to chat prior to the show. Can you tell the audience a little bit about who you are and your background?
Sure. As you said, I'm the 10th Ward Alderman of the City of Chicago. I've been the Alderman since 1999. The ward is located on the far southeast side of the city. It includes the neighborhoods of Hegewisch, East Side, South Chicago, Vets Park, South Daring, and Jeffrey Manor. And I grew up in the neighborhood, attended CPS Elementary School and Mount Carmel High School here in the city. Went to college and came back. Worked for the city in the budget office, in the building department, eventually in the mayor's office under Mayor Daley. And thought I had learned some skills and gained a lot of experience that would be practical in serving as alderman. Wanted to come back and serve my community, my 10th Ward, the southeast side, and ran for alderman and was successful and fortunate to become the alderman and continue to do so since 1999.
All right. Well, you did say briefly the location of your ward. I'm going to show the viewers the ward map.
Yeah.
And this is the 10th Ward. Can you tell us the boundaries of the 10th Ward?
Certainly. On the east, it's the Illinois and Indiana border, so we border Hammond, Indiana. On the south, it's approximately 138th, and we border Burnham, Kell City. On the west, generally the Bishop Ford Expressway, I-94. And as you can see, we run in and out and eventually finish up around 83rd Street at the former U.S. Steel, the now Lakeside site. So a very large ward, the largest ward in the city geographically, along with the 41st Ward, which includes O'Hare Airport.
And where's your ward office? I see is on 106th Street?
Yes, it is, directly in the center of the ward to be accessible to the public. We have parking, and it's on the ground floor. We have office hours, website, Facebook, all those items necessary to maintain good communications.
And the website is, for those who are watching, www.johnapope.org.
Yes.
All right, and Alderman, you said that you've been in the council since 1999?
Yes, ma'am.
So how many terms is that?
It's 4 terms, and I'm proud of that. I'm proud to have the support of the constituents of the ward. And some projects take a long time. The former U.S. Steel site, for example, we've been working on it for some time. Actually, a project we're just finishing up is the underpass at 130th and Torrance. That's something as a young child that I was aware of that needed to be done, and that project is coming to fruition now. So I'm proud to have had the support of my constituents, my home, my neighbors, my friends, and look forward to serving them in the future here.
Okay. What's going on with the former U.S. Steel site? Just curious.
Yeah, the former U.S. Steel site is a large parcel, almost 600 acres. We've developed some park space along the property. We dedicated, or will be dedicating, a portion of the space as Steelworkers Park to honor all those families and workers who made that area, made the city and the country what it is through the production of steel there. We completed the extension of Lakeshore Drive onto the site last year. The mayor, the governor, the senator, all of us were down there to open the new roadway. And we're bringing a new Mariano's grocery store to the site to serve the southeast side.
Mariano's is everywhere.
Yeah, we're very happy and excited about that.
We have a caller.
Oh, okay.
Hi, caller.
Hi.
Hi.
What's your question for the alderman?
Hi. The city recently voted to increase the minimum wage in Chicago. Did you support the increase, and why?
You know, I did support the minimum wage increase in the city, and currently the wage is at $8.25, and over several years we'll be bringing it up to $13. You know, we just felt that it was necessary to provide people with adequate wages. You know, through those efforts, we'll bring over 400,000 people out of poverty. And unfortunately, a lot of folks think that minimum wage is just for people entering the market, kids in high school, maybe the fast food restaurant type jobs, but unfortunately, a lot of households, you know, husbands, wives depend on that as their main source of income. So we were way far behind in terms of making that sustainable for folks. Inflation had far outpaced the minimum wage. Too many people are living in poverty, so I thought it was only fair that working folks, people in my neighborhood, had the opportunity to participate in making wages that were somewhat better. And actually, I supported the $15 an hour wage. We had to negotiate, and that wasn't successful, but we had some compromise and brought it up to $13, and we're happy about the fact that that will again bring over 400,000 people out of poverty and impact almost a third of the entire workforce here in the city of Chicago.
All right, we have another caller. Hey, caller.
Hello.
Hi. What's your question for the alderman?
Yes, my question is, why are you supporting a plan to spend $50 million of taxpayer money to build a street that nobody's going to use except one particular Petco company?
I think you're talking about the Burley Avenue extension. This is a proposal to build a road from 106th Street to about 122nd Street. This is a project that's been on the books for several years, and it's in the preliminary phases still. We just had a public meeting probably 2 months ago about that. That street will actually serve any industry as well as any vehicular traffic. It'll create an alternative for Avenue O. And quite honestly, that area along the river is heavily laden with industry. So the idea is to get truck traffic off of the residential streets, in this case Avenue O, and bring it to a street that's more dedicated to serving industry. We did have that community meeting. We had some informational presentations. So it's not for any one particular company, but it is primarily probably going to be used by industry, and the idea is to keep that truck traffic away from the residents where it makes safety sense.
Okay. Thank you for your question, caller. We were talking about the minimum wage ordinance and how great that is now for those who... Oh, we have another caller. All right. Hey, caller.
Hi. I had a question for the Alderman about after school. And, you know, we need to keep our kids learning year-round, not just, you know, in the classroom, but after school and during the summers. And I was wondering if you're going to be supporting the next chance to continue funding those after-school and summer programs for our students in Chicago.
Yeah, actually, that's a great point. Yes, I am supporting and have supported monies to be used for after-school programs. I know as part of the 2015 budget, through the mayor, we are supporting 23,000 jobs this summer. And that's not just to give kids an opportunity to make some money. It keeps them off the street. It exposes them to a potential career. And it exposes them oftentimes to different cultures and areas. It's amazing in this great city that some kids are limited to their own neighborhoods. So yes, I'm very supportive of that. 23,000 kids will get jobs this summer in 2015. And again, it allows them to make some money, exposes them to different areas of the city, gain practical workforce experience, and it keeps them off the street and away from potential criminal activities.
I have a question.
Yes.
As far as the 23,000 teenagers or kids who will be getting jobs, will they apply through the city or?
Yeah, it's a very competitive and very aggressive application process that is done online in the next couple months, or that process will probably start. So we want to have an aggressive campaign to remind all the kids, and we do that through the schools and churches and other community-based agencies to ensure that they're taking advantage of that by applying. So kids, teachers, principals, churches, be on the lookout in the next few months. Start signing up so that the kids from the neighborhood can participate in those programs.
Excellent opportunity. We have another caller. Hi, caller.
Hi, thanks for taking my call. My question has to do with crime in the 10th Ward.
Yeah.
So statistically, the 10th Ward has reduced their crime by the neighboring wards.
Yes.
And on one, how was that achieved, and two, what will?
I think we got cut off, but with respect to crime, it's in my opinion, it's a holistic approach. We can't take anything away from the police. I think the police in the 10th Ward on the south side and the 4th District do a wonderful job, and generally throughout the city they do a great job. But we need to continue to work together. I know as part of this budget this year, we're putting more money in to allow for overtime to give more police presence on the street. But it takes a community, so we're big supporters in my office of the CAPS program. I know in the district we have a great commander who has an interest in the community. He has family from the neighborhood, so he understands it personally. But we encourage a lot of things like block clubs, attendance at the CAPS programs, just being aware of what's going on, knowing your neighbors. We've participated and supported various programs like anti-crime marches. We had a block club training seminar program this last year to encourage people to do block clubs. And just summer programs are, as was mentioned earlier, getting kids involved. That holistic approach really does reduce crime. And the police department, in my opinion, has done a great job. And it's not just me saying it. The statistics show that in the 10th Ward over the last 2-3 years, crime is down in all major index crimes.
It's definitely about creating a community. I agree
You're
with
right.
you.
You're right.
We have another caller. Hi, caller.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Okay.
Getting back to the jobs issue, the whole Chicagoland area is hurting for jobs, but what is your plan to bring jobs to the city, and more specifically to the 10th Ward?
Well, we've been pretty aggressive in the 10th Ward in terms of bringing and keeping jobs here. We do have challenges being located on the far southeast side of the city in terms of our adjacency to the Indiana border and the suburbs, but we think some of our best assets are our people. We've got generally a well-trained workforce. We've got great amount of land and affordable land and good infrastructure in terms of transportation, rail, roadways, and water. So we want to use those to market the area. And we try to take advantage of the existing tools that are available, whether it be TIF dollars or programs through the state. We work closely with the chambers of commerce, development commissions, and other organizations to help market the site and work with existing businesses to let them know about incentives and programs that would allow them to not only stay here but expand.
Well, if you are just now tuning in, you are tuning in to Political Forum. We are here today with the 10th Ward Alderman, John Pope, and you should call and engage us in discussion, 312-738-1060. And we have another caller. Hi, caller.
Hi, how you doing?
Good.
Okay, I hear you was talking about for us the police, but what do you think about what's going on for us, racial profiling, for us the police, the rallies that's going on, for us the black African American in your war, for us the racial profiling and the shooting that's going on?
Well, let me say, racial profiling is not acceptable. And unfortunately, we've seen some things across the country, and I don't think it's reflective of the majority of police officers. As I said earlier, I'm very proud of the Chicago police officers. And like any entity, there's probably a few bad apples, whether it be politicians or police or teachers or anyone. But the large majority of the police are great, outstanding people. I'm proud of the police officers who work in the 4th District and the 10th Ward. Many of them choose to live here and work here, which says a lot, because they're invested in their community. I don't think it's tolerable. It shouldn't be. And if a police officer or anyone, for that matter, acts illegally, then the proper punishment, proper legal action should be taken.
Well, Alderman, I know one of the things that we have dealt with just today is the weather.
Oh, yes, yeah.
It's cold outside. If you haven't noticed, everybody, I think it's about -1. So it's very cold.
It
so
is.
we really appreciate you attending and being a guest today on Political Forum. What advice is the city providing to the residents of Chicago just to stay warm?
Well, I know the City of Chicago, the Mayor's Office, Department of Family and Support Services, all the agencies and entities involved, including my office. Our office is available, of course, as a warming center. So if anyone has the need to get into a place that is safe and warm, they can certainly come into our office. And we ask that people use common sense. First of all, if there's any problems, call 311. There's assistance available all the time. Stay inside if at all possible. If you don't have to go outside, stay inside. Make sure you're prepared. I mean, in this day and age, there's a lot of media attention given to upcoming storms. So we all know this weather is coming. Take precautionary measures. Make sure you have food and water inside. Don't take action to use potentially harmful means to heat your home. Don't keep the oven on. If you have space heaters, make sure they're operating properly. Don't use extension cords. Keep them away from drapes, curtains, things of that nature. And if you have problems, call 311. Check on neighbors and people in need, including the sick and the elderly.
All right. We have another caller. The lines are
Busy.
blowing up over there.
Everyone's at home with the cold weather.
Yes. Hi, caller.
Hello. I heard the Alderman talking earlier, I think the first topic of the show about the U.S. Steel property. I know there's been a lot of talk of developing the former U.S. Steel property. Can you tell us where that project is at?
Yeah, the U.S. Steel property, as I said, is probably the largest urban development property in the country, almost 600 acres. And we were fortunate to get Lakeshore Drive open last October. And Mariano's, for those of you who don't know, Mariano's is just the premier grocery store in the city of Chicago and the Chicago region. They have committed to go to the U.S. Steel site at the corner of 87th and South Lakeshore Drive. And this really addresses a need in the community in terms of providing groceries, good fruits and vegetables, fresh meats, but it also is going to provide an economic stimulus to the site. Some 300 to 400 employees will eventually work there. That's not to mention the 100 of construction jobs that will be involved with creating the site. So that project should be open next year. We're looking forward to doing outreach to ensure that local folks have the opportunity to not only work there on a full-time basis, but participate in the construction of that. We also, as we said, we have Steelworkers Park, and we'll be doing a dedication in the next couple months. We have a local artist, Roman Villarreal, and his partner Roman DeLeon, who have been gracious enough to provide their skills, and we're building a sculpture of, well, I don't want to give it away, but it's a sculpture that will honor the history of the site and the people in the community, and we'll be doing an opening, a dedication of that in the next month or two.
Okay, we have
so great things on tap there.
I know, it's a lot, and we haven't even gotten to the other development that's going on in your ward, but we have another caller. Hi, caller.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, John.
Hi.
I have a question about TIF money.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if you can give a breakdown of where the majority of these funds have gone in the 10th ward.
Well, TIF money is tax increment finance dollars, and those are monies that are set aside at a certain point from developments. A lot of our TIF dollars have gone towards economic development projects. We've earmarked money for the Method project just west of the Bishop Ford. That's a state-of-the-art manufacturer, a green manufacturer. They produce a lot of the products that are sold in Target, for example, the soaps and cleansers. We've spent quite a bit of money on infrastructure, streets, roads, and quite a bit of it, especially in the east side and South Chicago, we've spent money on improving the businesses because we're always competing for business, new jobs, new amenities in the neighborhoods. We have to try to provide our businesses with whatever advantage they have. So we've spent a lot of money in a program called SPIF, the Small Business Improvement Fund, which allows for local businesses to physically improve their properties, windows and doors and lighting and security systems to make them more appealing so that people feel comfortable in shopping there. And we've also spent money in the residential portion of the communities too, allowing for homeowners to have their homes improved. And with this cold spell, we all know what value those home improvements are, whether it be new furnaces or windows or doors. So that's where we spent a lot of the money.
Okay. We have another caller. Hey, caller.
Hello, and
Hello.
I just want to say Happy New Year to you and the Alderman.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
I have a question. I read an article recently that the city may be thinking of lifting the no parking zone as far as no parking during wintertime between 3 a.m. and 7 a.m. Is that true?
I have not heard that, but It may be the case. I have not read or heard anything of that nature.
Okay. If you're just tuning in, we are sitting here with 10th Ward Alderman John Pope. Call in. We have all of 5 minutes. And we have another caller. Hi, caller.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Alderman. How are you?
I'm well. I'm warm. Hopefully you're warm too. Stay inside. Be smart.
Thank you. I am. Yeah, I'm a lifelong 10th warder, and
Okay.
well, you've been alderman for quite a long time now, I guess. And I'm not sure how to phrase this question. I guess I'm asking what motivates you, or in other words, why do you want to run for re-election?
Wow, where do I begin? One, because I love the ward that I've called home for my entire life. And I have family and friends there, and it's a great opportunity. It's an honor to be able to contribute in such a vital capacity to improve the ward that we call home. And we've got so much work to be done. We've made a lot of improvements. We've talked about some of them today. But for me to have the opportunity to take whatever skills I have and help contribute to the positive growth of the community is just, it's wonderful, whether it be senior housing or housing in general, or addressing the crime issue or the economic development that's been asked about today. We've got projects that need to be done. I think I have the skills that are needed to get those projects done. I think I've demonstrated that, and I want to see my neighborhood, my community, be the best it can be.
All right. Well, I definitely want to touch on this topic before we are off the air. You have had a lot of development as it relates to senior housing in your ward, and that is very much so needed. Can you tell the viewers about the senior housing developments in the 10th Ward?
Well, you said we've had a lot of development, and I will argue that we can never have enough development. We need to continually have more development. That creates jobs, it creates assets in the community, it improves the quality of life and provides those amenities that people want in each of their neighborhoods. But we have been successful with senior housing. We've done senior housing in the Hegewisch community, in South Chicago, in South Daring. We've got the CHA housing development, and in Jeffrey Manor we'll be opening very shortly Porticelli, which is a project that we've worked with through Catholic Charities to provide senior housing for not just the residents of Jeffrey Manor, but for the greater South Side. And people, I think, sometimes don't look at the value of senior housing. Seniors generally want to stay in the neighborhood in which they've grown up. They're familiar with their neighbors, the shopping, the churches. This allows seniors the opportunity to stay in those communities without necessarily having to take care of a big house where maybe they're by themselves, their kids have moved on, they don't need a 3-bedroom house, they can't shovel the snow. Right. This provides them to go to a more affordable, more compact housing with people of their own age and interest. So we're very happy and excited about another senior development coming online in the next month or two.
It's definitely a supply and demand issue with senior housing, so that's always great to hear more developments coming. Do we have another caller?
Wow.
Okay, another caller. Hi, caller.
Hey there. I understand that there was a new school opening in the 10th Ward, but it's a charter school. I wanted to know how come we're not opening a public school?
I think you have wrong information there. No, we've been successful in the 10th Ward at opening. This will be our 3rd new elementary school here in the ward, and they're all Chicago public schools. And this is not a charter school. This new school, the Southeast Elementary School as it's termed now, will be opening up in the East Side community. It will relieve overcrowding at the 2 schools nearby, Gallistel and Adams, both of which are severely overcrowded, and we, the community, have fought for far too long to bring a new school. This will be a state-of-the-art community school, a CPS school, a neighborhood school. It will not be a charter school. It will be fully equipped with 2 play fields, parking on site, 3 stories, all the modern amenities. And not only we're building a new school to relieve the overcrowding, but we're putting money in through the TIF dollars to help improve the 2 existing schools which need to be improved upon. So not a charter school.
How did the school closures affect your ward?
They didn't. Unlike a lot of areas, we have just the opposite problem. We have over enrollment. We have needs for 3 new schools being built in the 10th Ward. Okay. So it really didn't affect the 10th Ward, unlike many areas where they had a lot of schools closed. We are looking to open up and expand and create new schools for our growing school-age population.
Well, it's almost time for us to wrap up the show. Again, I want to thank you, and of course, Can TV thanks you with the nice award that we've provided in the legacy of Alderman Stone.
Yes.
Is there any last words you would like to tell those who have tuned in tonight to talk to you and see?
Well, I'd just like to again thank you and CAN TV for all the work that you've done over the years. I know you're building a new facility that will allow you to continue to operate and even expand your viewership and operate more efficiently. And foremost, I want to remind people to be conscious of this cold weather. It's nothing to take lightly. Be safe, stay inside if at all possible, and continue to call our office up if you have concerns. We look forward for your continued support. I mean, the 10th Ward is a tight-knit community, and working together, I think we can accomplish much. And I hope that everyone continues to watch CAN TV and support me as the 10th Ward Alderman, and keep improving the 10th Ward.
All right. Well, thank you again, Alderman Pope.
Thank you.
Thank you to our phone tech, Sylvia. And next week, you can tune in to CAN TV, and we'll have Cook County Board President Tony Preckwinkle. Have a great night and stay warm.